The Giants are on a streak. The big question right now, Dave, stands, will Daniel Jones play on Sunday?
I mean, that's a big question, and I think that's one that's really going to be finalized and answered today as they have their last dress rehearsal for that game on Sunday at home against the Cardinals. But all signs are positive. Everybody said that he looked good in practice, was moving. He's been on a limited basis, which you expect that he's on a pitch count. But to see him out there, to see him fluid, to see him moving, it's a great sign for this Giants football team going into a game where they're going to need to be able to pound the rock, get back to running the football, and use his athletic ability up against this 3-4 defense that they want to run with Vance Joseph as their defensive coordinator.
Now, the football gods giveth with Daniel Jones trending to play, but the football gods might taketh away as Blake Martinez has been lights out on his Giants defense, might not play this weekend against the Arizona Cardinals. How does this Giants defense look like without him in the lineup?
I don't know. It's very hard to say that because up until last week, we haven't seen him go an entire snap without having Blake Martinez on the field for this season. So it's going to be important to see what his status is going to be on Sunday because we know that when it's out there between the quarterback and the linebacker, it's a chess match. It's a chess game, and it's about checking before getting your defense in alignment and assignment and setup. So I know that he's been a tackling machine this year. He's been all over the football field, and if they don't have him, that's one extra piece that they've used with their 4 defensive linemen to stop the run. So that would be very difficult not to have Blake Martinez on the field on Sunday. But you know that Patrick Graham and this defense throughout this entire season has found ways to adjust to that. But when you lose to Blake Martinez, if he doesn't play, there's no next man up that can replace what he's done this season.
Oh, man, certainly hope that he's healthy enough to go. But another bright spot will be Leonard Williams, who picks up a Defensive Player of the Week award. What's working so well for him? I mean, I read a great article where he felt like his Pro Bowl caliber season was just beneath the surface.
Yeah. You know what? I was one of those people that was a little hesitant when they made the trade to bring him over from the Jets to the Giants. But one thing that I will say is that when you see him playing in this Giants defense, where he's playing a 3 technique compared to where he was playing a 5 technique in that 3-4 defense for the Jets, he looks like a completely different person. He has the ability to create penetration, get into the backfield. And the one thing that I will say with him and his time right now with New York, he is so technically sound with his fundamentals and the way that he attacks offensive linemen. He's always got his hands inside. He's always got the ability to swap, swim, and really get that edge. And if a deep offensive lineman is sitting light in his stance, he's got that strength to bull rush him and right into the lap of the quarterback and affect his throwing mechanics. So Leonard Williams has been completely lights out this season. And I know now he's getting a little bit more attention because the sack numbers are coming up. But this is something that he's been doing the entire season.
Now, there's no rest for the weary with this Giants defense. Last week, they pretty much held DK Metcalf in check when it came to the Seattle Seahawks. This week, they got DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona Cardinals offense, one of the most electrifying offenses in the league when they got it going. What will the Giants have to do to slow down D-Hop?
I think last week was a good blueprint for them playing this week up against the Arizona Cardinals. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, both mobile quarterbacks. But the big difference with Kyler Murray is when he escapes from the pocket, he's looking to utilize his legs and make sure he gains ground, being able to run the football, not just throwing it. And we know it's the opposite with Russell Wilson. He's looking to throw the football. And then on the back end, being able to go up against DK Metcalf last week, they've got even a bigger challenge this week with DeAndre Hopkins because he's so sharp with his route running, his ability to get over the top. And one of his skills that he has that you really don't hear a lot of people talk about is at the last minute being able to stick those hands out there and grab that ball, whether it's a 50-50 ball or whether he's running in stride. You know, it's very easy for wide receivers to be undisciplined, to not have, you know, the eye discipline when the football's coming so your eyes don't get huge, or when that football's coming to throw your hands out there early and allow a defensive back to get your hands in that triangle to break it up. He is so smooth with the way that he runs his pattern and with that football coming down. It's like the last second. It's like spider senses. Boom, they're just out there, and he comes down with it. So I think that this is a game that, once again, for this Giants defense, comes down to stopping the run with Kenyon Drake and forcing this offense for the Cardinals in 3rd and longs That's where they struggled last week and only going 3-12 on third down because they were 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 14. When you do that, you take away the running ability of Kyler Murray.
Man, I love the way that we're talking about this squad compared to the way the season started. But we're going to put a button on Giants talk specifically. It's amazing. But let's go big picture. Big story this weekend, Dave. Carson Wentz officially benched. Jalen Hurts is going to get the start. I'm wondering, was it Carson or is Jalen also not exactly going to be in a position to excel?
Well, number one, when you're sitting there, you're watching Carson Wentz. His play gave the Philadelphia Eagles the perfect opportunity to capitalize and make a move on this. And I'm not taking anything away from Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman, their GM. They all have their fingerprints right now on where this Philadelphia Eagles team is. But you can't sit here and deny that the way that Carson Wentz has played hasn't been a detriment to their football team, and him being not accountable to the football has led to losing football games. That's plain and simple. I think that Doug Peterson could have done a much better job of transitioning Jalen Hurts in to provide that spark that he's talking about to the offense. I think that this is something where they could have had him and Carson Wentz earlier in packages and with personnel groups instead of just doing it now. You would see Jalen Hurts running for one play, and you wouldn't see him either for another 3 series or even not even for the rest of the football game. So we knew that this was something that they had to do for their football team. We knew Carson Wentz is obviously struggling with his confidence and where he's at as a quarterback. And I think right now what they're doing with Jalen Hurts is giving him an opportunity, seeing what he's capable of. But what does he also provide? The ability to run for his life faster than Carson Wentz currently.
The most popular guy in the losing city is always the backup quarterback. So I'm definitely excited to check out Jalen Hurts this week. Let's jump back to the... That's right, especially in Philadelphia. Let's jump back to the Giants real quick because we talked a lot about the defense, but we haven't really talked so much about the offense and especially that power running game. When Saquon Barkley went down, obviously a lot of questions about the run game, but Wayne Gallman, Alfie Moe have been picking up that power running game for the New York Giants. How do you see that continuing going up against this Arizona Cardinals defense this weekend?
I think that's going to continue for this Giants offense because that's their best way to move the football and play complementary football to the defense. And it wasn't anything that was all smoke and mirrors, deception, lots of motion pre-snap. They lined up last week and out-bullied a bully in the Seattle Seahawks. You know that's a physical outfit that they think they're coming into Seattle and they're going to be able to push you around. For the Giants to have 32 yards rushing in the first half and by the middle of the third and in the fourth quarter, completely impose their will on the Seattle Seahawks defense by running base runs, running downhill, even though they had a stacked box with Jamal Adams down there. It's a sign that Jason Garrett trusts his offensive line, and it's a sign that there is a cohesion and a game plan in the way that they're going to go in and execute on the offensive side of the ball to keep that defense off the field, allow them to rotate, and allow them to play the way systematically that they have. So I know it's not the most exciting way to win football games when everybody worries about fantasy numbers and touchdowns and how many yards your quarterback threw for. But in the NFL, games are won and lost in the trenches at the point of attack. And if the Giants can continue to do this on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, yeah, they may not be sexy wins. But at the end of the season, if you get a W, it doesn't matter how you got it.